happen. Boom. And there we go. And what level is this at right now? Where are you playing these days?
I think it was about 2200.
Okay.
Your average trash can gold Reinhardt, I guess.
Oh, it's okay. I think you're going to make some unaverage plays based on what you just told me.
Let's see.
Okay. So you're pushing up out here, which is fine. It is, you know, maybe not the most standard advance, but it's perfectly reasonable to do so. And then I look at this, and it's sort of okay, but I've actually wanted to pre-do this. So here you are, and I know where the opponents are. Like, the opponents are on high ground, right?
That's usually the case, yeah.
If they're not on high ground, they're right there, and I don't care if they're right there. So I look at this, and this is a long time to, like, you're here, and if you started the Fire Strike now, I'd be okay. I'd have actually been okay if you started the Fire Strike before rounding this corner. But that's pretty late to get into your Fire Strike, right? Like, they've had time to move their crosshairs to you, and now they potentially get to shoot at you, which I don't really like. And now you're walking at them, and your shield should just be up. Like, I get what you're doing. You're like, hey, I want to have full movement speed. I want to get to them as quickly as possible. But your shield should really be up because they're already pressured by you being here. They're already distracted, and there's definitely going to be some sort of meaningful poke, right? And in this case, it's a Cassidy, but there's almost always going to be some sort of meaningful hit scan that can pressure you, right? It might be Cassidy, Echo, Widow. I don't really want to take any of those. I want my shield as I walk on this. What's that?
Yeah, that is too. That's what you say. I was looking at that, and like sometimes there's like a Widowmaker or like an Ash or something over there, and you can jump the barrels and kill them. It's pretty funny.
But
I was looking at this, and I was like, I don't know if I want to. Like, I do take a lot of damage when I walk over here, and I think I decide not to go for it. I'll just
right. But if you put your shield up after that Fire Strike, I mean, if you'd Fire Striked earlier and then put your shield up, you can walk on this. And you can even go, like, even the threat of you walking here with full health as you're spending your shield to get here is enough that these guys are probably going to go, do we want to be here? Like, do we want to surrender this space? Do we want to fight the Reinhardt? What do we want to do? And, you know, no big deal. If you don't like it, you start losing shield too much, you just drop, you just go in there, whatever you like here. But I'm basically disappointed that you just took this 300 damage. Did I say 300 damage? Clearly I meant all your health. Oh, Jesus! Okay.
Wrestler decides to drop, which is pretty good for me, I guess. So,
it is, but I actually wouldn't swing at her yet. So this happens, and I know you feel like you have enough health to justify swinging, but here's the thing. So we're going to swing to get our Fortify, but as soon as we see this Fortify, I'm done. I'm just not going to take her down through her Fortify. Like, no thank you. And I'm still missing health and my Mercy's still working on me, and I'm going to require that my Mercy does more work on me by swinging at this Orisa, and I'm just not going to take out this Orisa. I don't see a Discord on it or anything like that. I don't see it already low health beyond its armor. This is a full health Orisa that dropped on you and is fortifying, right?
Yeah, so she's pretty tough to take down.
Right, so just, you know, put your shield up, kite your way out to here or whatever until that fortify's over. Once that fortify's over, go ham on her. If she gets below her armor health because other people are shooting at her, a bunch of people, she's discorded, whatever, go wild. But right now, you know, you're forcing the Mercy in some ways to stay on you by doing this. And, well, you tell me, is that a better use than, say, your Mercy being, I don't know, boosting your Genji over here, boosting your Widow over here? And the answer is probably no, right?
Yeah, probably not.
Okay. What? Why? Okay, that's interesting.
Yeah, I've seen that Mercy fight over there, and I was like,
I'm just like shocked that I'm seeing a Mercy and a Moira here. Like, okay, sure. Okay.
I think their Reinhardt dropped and tried to hold cart.
He did, yeah, no, he just went right to cart, and I'm shocked that he just went right to cart there, but okay. We'll take it. Sure, they weren't looking at you. So again, you're pretty done here. So like this happens, and you want to respect Orissa's a little more than I think you are, where you forced her fortify, and now do you want to sort of leave line of sight of, well, it's not as much leaving line of sight of your team as I thought, but do you want to chase past this corner where your Widow stops being relevant, where other people stop being relevant, where the Anna who's pushing cart has a harder time getting on you? Do you want to push past this now that you've already like gotten value here? Is there much chance of you taking down this Orisa?
Probably not. I think I kind of realized that was a bit of an error, so I kind of tuck into the side.
Okay.
But yeah, I could
Okay.
have maybe.
Which is good, but I'd have actually liked you to just tuck here where you've still got, you know, a shield you can break, an Anna that can see you, all that. But okay, cool. Okay, cool. Okay. Okay, you're doing a little bit of Reinhardt dancing there, I get it. You're not quite sure where you want to go. Where do you think you want to go in hindsight here?
So from that position, depending on where they go, I either like to go up to outhouse or like to go up the stairs and try and hold this corner, depending on where it is.
Okay. Does Moira or Junkrat's positioning influence what you want to do?
I was considering that, but like they're pretty far away, and like I don't think I was going to be able to really get there.
Okay.
I
Okay.
can't recall exactly what I chose to do.
Sure. You're gonna back, fine. Okay. Okay. You're probably done at that point. So here's the thing. You did this, you swung at this, and you're getting knocked around, and you can tell you're getting knocked around, so you probably don't swing in this area. You probably put your shield back up, because I don't really want to take more. Like, can you do anything by taking damage here? Like, are you taking damage? Are you getting to do damage in return?
No.
Then I probably just want to spend some more shield and let my supports go find better things to do, right? Did I lose you?
No, I'm still here. Yeah, that's
Okay.
that's probably yeah, I should have shielded earlier.
Okay, so not a big deal, but we're just looking for opportunities to be like, hey, I'm perfectly happy to walk on the opponents and spend health, spend shield, whatever, but I don't want to just swing into air when I'm clearly too far away. Okay? Unfortunate. Sure. I think you just go right back. So, like, this happened, and that was scary, but now you're retreating back here, and why are you retreating back here? Like, the tire happened, the tire's over. Is there anything that's scary here?
Yeah, I probably should just push at Orisa.
Okay.
Yeah, that's pretty free.
Because, yeah, you're like a short-range hero that's now spending a bunch of time rotating. That really just gave Reinhardt time to show back up. Cool.
Thanks.
Understood.
Okay, you're going to take some space. You're going to go up the off angle. Fine with me. Check on your team. Check on your team. Team isn't really ready. Okay, so here's my issue. You've opened to this angle. Is your team relevant?
No, and I think this was. I mean, I do get some value here, but I think ultimately this is probably not the play. Their team kind of set back up over there, and they're in between like me and my team. And I watched the replay on this.
Yeah.
So I was a little bit split off.
Yeah, if your team was here, this play makes a little more sense. It makes less sense when you don't have your pin, because you can't even use your pin to like, oh, let me pin out like this, that sort of thing. So I've got some issues with it. I didn't want you here revealing yourself yet, and I definitely didn't want you out here without your pin at this moment. So
I saw it with the infra site, so there's like a Cassidy up here, and I was thinking like, I could probably just go and eliminate this guy, and no one else can really do anything about it based on their positioning. So that's kind of why I decided to make that play.
Really, no one else can do anything about it?
I missed this then.
Okay, because that was my
Yeah.
Okay. Got it.
The Zen has my number a few times in this game.
Okay. Okay. You've decided it's time to back. Okay. Okay. No, you can't now change your mind. I get it, but you're so close. Like, you're so close, you're like, no, now I'm gonna get you. And I'm like, I get it, you hear your Anna, you think you're sort of safe, but I don't see anyone else shooting at Zen, do you?
But no, yeah, like I misread that.
Yeah.
I thought I'd gotten back to like the front line, and that this would be fine to push up again. It wasn't.
Sure. All good.
I do get punished for this.
Okay. So, just a mistake. It was sort of the once you changed your mind once to leave there, leaving is sort of what you had to do, unless you saw someone else was actually attacking that set. But not a big deal. Reinhardt doesn't.
Support player.
What's that?
It was a big deal for our support player. I got an earful for that one.
Oh, I'm sure. I'm sure. Did you ask your support player, Anna, hey, why didn't you take an offensive shot at the Zed? No,
No, I didn't say anything.
I'm not actually saying engage them.
Yeah.
Okay. Probably not. What don't I like?
Fire strike in the open.
No, I mean, I can sort of live with this fire strike if not for the Discord. Like, you were Discorded before you started this fire strike, and you were just like, I'm gonna go do this. And I'm like, why? Why would you look at this and go, hey, I'm Discorded. Hey, I'm Discorded. I don't care that I'm Discorded, I'm gonna go do this. You should expect to take way more damage in return than you do with this. Doesn't end up happening, but you should expect to. Okay. I don't think there was a need to immediately pop back out here. So I get that you get halted. But I'm not really worried. Like, I know all the attention is in this direction. Why am I walking back out into this attention that I just found? Like, you know that a halt just happened here. Isn't everyone's eyeballs going to be focused on that halt?
Yeah, I guess. I don't know. I was thinking maybe like I shouldn't really be hiding over there at this point in time when I'm the main tank.
Okay, but like,
pretty large.
This isn't an MMO, right? It's not like, oh, the raid boss needs to target me and attack me while the healers heal me through it, and then the DPS just get to stand there or, dance or whatever while they eliminate the boss. Like, it's not an MMO RPG like that, where, hey, your tank is supposed to take the damage, is supposed to be the one shot at. What your tank is your tank is more like someone who's got a little bit of extra health. Like, they've got some body armor. So, like, there's 5 of you, you're a squad, and your tank has a little bit of body armor, but it only protects their chest. It doesn't protect their arms, their head, anything like that. So they're your best option for breaking a choke, but they still don't want to get shot at, right? Does that make sense, 10 beers? Or does that...
Yeah, that makes sense.
Okay. So, like, again, it's not like, oh, they need to be paying attention to me. You would rather they pay attention to you than someone else, but if they would just, stare at their navel, you'd be even more happy with that. And that's kind of what they're doing right now. They're not staring at their belly button, but they are shooting at... From their perspective, they were just looking at a halt, and they were just looking at this doorway and this wall next to the doorway. You see where they've been shooting. We can see the damage there. And they were just sort of staring at that, getting nothing. And you can wait half a second before you push back out, is really where I'm going with this. Does that make sense? Plus, it turns out there's Narissa here that you can 2v1. What's that?
Yeah, that makes more sense, yeah. Okay. I think I do turn around and swing on the Orisa.
Yeah, it's not a big deal. It's probably not something you've had to think about a ton as a main tank before, but it's the concept that DPS, when supports with high damage, will get familiar with, where it's like they sort of want to play an attention baiting game of like, if you were a Widow and you shot, and then someone shot at you and you closed the angle, you might wait a second and a half before you reopened the angle, as they're like clearly holding it, clearly staring at you, and you can sort of afford to do something similar here because, well, you're not getting poke value, but neither are they while they're staring at you. So, hey, the rest of your team is, we'll take it. Okay. Sure. Okay. I assume we're going to see a shatter. Yeah, super obvious. Where's our shatter? Okay. Cars in this game hover so we can shatter under them. I know, it's weird, but, like, I am kind of surprised that we didn't take a shatter on the way in here. So, like, this happened. I'm going to be honest, I'd have even taken the shatter here when it was just the Orisa, but, like, hey, questionable. But you get here, and, like, okay, I could shatter the supports. Maybe I don't want that yet. This is, like, the freest shatter of your life, right?
It's pretty free. I don't know. I was kind of being maybe a little bit greedy here. I wasn't sure if he really needed it to win this, to clean this up.
Shatter is cheap. Shatter is
Yeah.
cheap, and look at this. Like, it's actually, they've got 4 people in play, 1 person almost back. You're definitely still willing to invest Shatter. Shatter is an ult that, like, getting the perfect situation to get your Shatter off sort of requires, oh, well, we're going to break their Reinhardt shield, or their Reinhardt is going to mess up, and, like, getting high probability Shatters is challenging. It's generally worth it to take reasonable cleanup shatters. I'm not saying, oh, it's a 6v2 shatter them, but, like, fights where you're ahead by 1, where you're ahead by 2, those can still absolutely, those regularly are absolutely going to be worth shattering. Some people divide ults into, like, initiation ults and finisher ults, and people who do that, I don't love that setup, but people who do that generally do consider shatter a finisher ult much more than an initiation ult. You're trying to go, hey, I'm willing to do this. It's a cheap ult. It's an ult that is a little hard to get off amazing ones of because it requires so many things to be out of the way for it to work perfectly. So because of that, you sort of go, hey, I'm just going to use this when the opportunity is here. I would strongly recommend you take a shatter that's like, hey, there's 3 people here. I'll be able to get at least 1 elimination off out of it. And while this fight is in our favor, this fight isn't decided yet, or even if it feels like it's decided, it's not quickly decided, it's not quickly consolidated, and respawns could come back and drag it out. Does that make sense?
Yeah, that makes sense. I also didn't know that I could shatter underneath that Jeep.
All good. All good.
So I think that might have also influenced the decision making here.
Sure. So you go for that one, and that's not really better. But okay. In fact, I'd argue that's like a strictly worse shatter. But that's okay.
Activate.
I suppose it's not strictly worse shatter. The one better thing about the shatter is it probably tilted Reinhardt a little bit because, it was the shatter that he was there for that he didn't see and didn't do anything about.
The payload has reached.
But from a gameplay standpoint, it was worse. Okay, so you're holding this, you're being annoying, we like it. Okay.
Zenyatta has made some positional errors, maybe? I don't know.
Maybe Zenyatta made some positional errors. How are we feeling about our team? Is our team relevant to this fight? Is our team contributing? I mean, our team's relatively relevant. Our team's relatively contributing, and you're going in. Now, excuse me, we would notice that our Hammond is missing, but he can get in pretty quickly. Our Ana's contributing from here. Our Widow just got rezzed and doesn't really have positioning yet. This is an interesting play that you're here, but I don't hate this. I do sort of hate how telegraphed it was in terms of the Zen knows that you're here. They just don't care. Your ball's in when you see that. Yeah, I can live with this. Yeah, solid. He's too far to flash you. So I probably want to pin into the Reinhardt that's going to pin his shatter, right? Like, if there's a
Yeah,
Reinhardt behind you that shatters, he's probably going to pin into his shatter, and you can get the really high probability pin on him behind him to finish him off. Now, I don't hate what you do instead, but you don't have anything good to go get here right now, yeah?
I wasn't sure. Like, I didn't see the result of his shatter, so I was a bit concerned that there'd be people behind him trying to follow up. So I was thinking maybe I try and shield main.
Okay, and I'm totally
But
cool with that. I'm totally cool with that. I just don't see anything amazing for you to go get here. Cool. I say I don't say anything amazing to get here, but apparently Soldier is gonna gift you eliminations. Which, hey, I'll take it. I'll take it. Good. So that's just sloppy. Like, you go like this. This is totally fine. I'm totally fine with this. But I want to either find the Winston or I want to shield. What is this Fire Strike about? Like, huh? We know there's nothing here. And then you're here and you're just taking this damage. And now you're Rhine dancing. And now you're doing that. Huh? I have no desire to be here whatsoever. If I just stay here, like, Mercy healed you back up to 480, 450 health. You can just chill here again and continue to enforce this space, right?
I think I saw that. I was like, oh, I could go for drop shatter here, and it didn't turn out to.
Ah. Yeah, you're not quite close enough to get the Zen. Your team is blocked up by the Reinhardt, so you have to be your own follow-up. Not gonna happen. Unfortunate.
Heroes never die.
I see something. So, okay, you do this Fire Strike, and now should you stay in this fight or should you leave this fight?
Well, you're down Anna and Genji, so I don't really think this is a great fight.
Okay. What's
Okay.
the one thing that makes this fight a little bit more interesting?
Oh, we have DPS and the off angle and high ground.
Yeah, you've got a pretty deep Widow angle there. So, like, I'm not convinced that this fight is over, actually. I'm looking at this, and you could leave. It wouldn't be the worst thing in the world to leave this fight, but I'm looking at this and saying, hey, if the rest of your team is still here, if the rest of your team is remotely in this, you've potentially got this. But it looks like, where did you lose your Mercy to? Oh, right there. Okay. Yeah, no, I'm not convinced that this is over, but that's okay. That said, you sort of make the worst of both decisions. Of like, you have your Valk going, you have your Widow on the off angle, you start to go in, then you back out. Yeah, I wanted to fight that. With that extreme off angle and a Valk going, I wanted to fight that. But that's okay.
I think our Widow. In hindsight, it's 2020, but our Widow got owned pretty hard there. I think by their Soldier. Their Soldier was pretty hot this game.
Okay.
My ultimate is charging.
Our duty is to move the payload. Get to it. Go. Ultimate is charging.
Cool. Sure, we can have some swing fun with them. No, that doesn't really make sense. That was never going to be the finish. So, like, you're going for the Fire Strike here, and I know the Soldier's shooting at you. You know the Soldier's shooting at you. And we also know this isn't actually a finish on the Winston. We don't want to just, like, do damage for the sake of doing damage. We want to fight the Winston because we actually take the space, and we do more damage than the Winston. That becomes less true when there's a Mercy-boosted Soldier, but even so, we're at least taking the space by swinging at him. But,
So
like,
I could have just kept on swinging on him instead of.
no, I'd actually just be done here. I'd actually literally, rather than go for this, I don't think you can keep swinging at him. I think the reason that you fire struck is he got away from you a little bit. He surfed your swings a little bit. But I think you're done. You drove him back. He can't drive on your team again. And you can just sort of go back here and wait again for a moment. And again, that soldier's going to want to go look somewhere else for a moment. And then you push back in. And if you heard your minefield is going off, yes, you keep pushing and swinging. But I don't know if you realize how hard we're going in here. Oh, okay. The minefield has gone off. Yeah, I'd have said kept swinging in that case. If you realize that the minefield is going in and your team is already in pretty hard, yes, go ahead and keep swinging. Sure. Now you're just farming ult charge. You like these fire strikes a little too much. So this happens, and you see that.
I should have maybe shielded main instead of trying to chase off
Yes.
monkey.
Yes. Generally, going back to deal with blades, going back to deal with primals, going back to deal with these things, it's, you pointed this out with the shatter. I'm like, hey, do you want to go back and pin it? And you're like, well, I'm worried about other people contributing. Well, I'm actually less worried about it with shatter, and I'm more worried about it with these other things, the primals, the blades, things like that, where it's like, nah, I do want to not let their main contribute more than I want to go add my damage to dealing with the primal or hope that my pin lands, that sort of thing. Definitely don't want this fire strike. That's just, like, you just took 300 damage during that fire strike. That's, yeah.
Yeah, instant regret that decision there.
All good.
This is not over.
I could use some assistance.
No one can hide from my sight.
My blade is ready to go.
Okay. Great. Okay. You see what just happened here again? So, like, this happened. The Reinhardt goes past you. You're at 400 HP. There's been a mercy-boosted soldier at work and a Zen for a while. So, like, you're going to get melted in a lot of these situations. And you immediately go for this fire strike, which I hate. But even after this fire strike, you don't adjust and flip and shield. Because once you're discorded. Like, your shield doesn't take extra damage from you being discorded. But it's very clear that you need to 180 and shield and press S at this point. And instead you do that. And, like, I get it, you're worried about his shatter, but, like, you should be dead and you probably realize that, yeah?
Yeah, if I didn't get the nano, I would definitely be dead here.
Right. So this is the sort of thing where it's like, hey, you've got to pay a little bit more respect to this soldier Zen Mercy combination and sort of go, hey, I'm going to put my shield up. I'm not going to turn around for these things, but that's okay. Okay, that's fine. You're spending your health appropriately.
Move it out.
And now okay, one too many. And again, it's the difference between spending your health appropriately, which is totally appropriate here, just like it was totally appropriate in the last thing, but now I immediately pivot with my shield up, right? Like, I got the Mercy, and now I need to figure out where the Zen is or walk on the Zen before I'd consider dropping my shield again, right? So, what is that? What? No!
You're covered.
Okay. Sure. I probably wanted to force this fight a little earlier. So I see it, and I get that you're concerned about the cast date. But I know that you have teammates here, and I don't think this situation gets better. I don't think there's a respawn wave where this team fight is going to get better, where more of your teammates are going to be here before they have still more teammates back. Agreed, based on spawn distances?
Yeah.
So I'm looking at this, and my response is, what are you waiting for? I'm trying to get you without time rolling forward. What are you waiting for? What are you moving left for? I want to walk on the Reinhardt. I see the Cassidy. I don't want to get shot by the Cassidy. Don't get me wrong. But this situation is only going to get worse. And I want to put pressure on this Reinhardt. I want to bait this Reinhardt into swinging back at me so my Widow can shoot at him. So my Ana can hit nades, sleeps, things like that. Right?
Yeah.
Okay. So I'd like to go do that. And instead you're sort of spending time and shield. And by spending time and shield before you go do this, oh, now his Mercy is back. Oh, now his Winston is back. I don't like that as much. Never. Why is the answer here never?
We're gonna get stunned by the Cassidy and melted.
Exactly. And you know that Cassidy is flash because he hasn't had an opportunity to spend his flash. Okay.
Yeah.
So this is all risk and, like, almost zero chance of reward. Oh my goodness. What does this guy, like... I don't understand. I don't understand. Oh my goodness.
Better Cassidy would have killed me.
I
What's
feel
that?
that in the
Better
morning.
Cassidy would have killed me.
Oh, easily.
We still need you.
You hate your attack.
So here you are. This is happening. Okay, sure. You care about the cart. You want to swing. I'm potentially good with it. Hopeful. Okay. Okay. So we do have some decisive movement issues where you sort of do a little bit of Reinhardt stuff. That's not your biggest issue. We've got too much fire striking, too much not respecting of sort of your health. That's a bigger problem that we're seeing. We've got some shatter opportunities that we're missing out on, but let's continue here and see what we get in round 2.
Barrier activated.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Attackers incoming. Understood. Stop the payload.
Enemy in my sights.
Get in there. This is not your time.
Come out and face me.
Okay, so you're here. You decided to hold low ground, which I can live with, but let's look at your team for a second. So you decided to hold low ground. This is your team. What's your play from here? So you're enforcing here. You're enforcing this spot ahead of the choke. I can potentially deal with it. How do you want this to happen? Where do you want team fights to happen? Talk me through this.
I don't really like that corner all that much in Junkertown, but it's kind of like I guess standard on ladder where you play at gold.
Okay.
But so, and I guess I set up there to force the fight when the card kind of gets to that corner when the rest of your guys still have the high ground that can shoot down on them. And I saw it when our Ash got picked on the kill feed, and it's like I don't know, maybe now is the time to start backing off to. I think the corner on the other side of the high ground, like the crates
Sure.
on the far left, is usually like the better corner to hold. I think.
Yeah, significantly better.
Yeah.
Even if you only take one fight on Junkertown, this is the fight to take. But okay, that's fair. That's fair. Or you can, just drop on them from above and sort of make this your elimination box. Whatever you want there. But that's fine.
The
Okay.
high ground there is just so shallow that I find like if I stand up there, it's like really cramped.
Yep. It's totally really cramped. That said, I don't need to stop the cart until the cart gets to here if I want to play this corner. And I'm not really doing anything by being at this corner right now. Agreed?
Yeah. I mean, I guess it would be better to shield something up there and then drop. later.
Give your guys the shielded opening shot, and then rotate, and it's going to cost you a little bit of shield to rotate to here, if this is what you want to do. But, be rotating to here when the cart's, here type thing, so that you can be here and have most of your shield back by the time you're ready to contest it here. Does that make sense?
Yeah, that makes sense.
Okay. I agree. It's an awkward Reinhardt thing if you're not doing a spawn camp.
Enemy in my sights.
Okay. I hate it. I basically hate this. I know there's a Cassidy above you, and there's nothing you can do about it, and you just lost your Ash. Jesus. Okay. I mean, you're just free for this Cassidy to shoot down on right now. And your decision today is going to be to back out, and this is just over, so you're setting up for here instead. Okay. Sure. You can't really push them. You're trying to retreat further because you know how down you are on people. You just need to watch Sigmas. Just like you need to watch Anna's with your peripheral vision, with the corner of your eye, whatever, while you're fighting other things, you have to watch Sigmas. It's not as important, but you do have to do it.
I have a bit of problems with the peripheral vision.
Yep, it literally becomes a
Especially with
skill
the
that you
Ana.
practice where you just sort of go, hey, like, I'm swinging at Reinhardt, but even if I'm swinging at Reinhardt, I might actually be staring at the Ana, because I don't need to. Reinhardt is pretty forgiving with my swing aim, right? So, like, I can actually, even if it's not my peripheral vision, I can look pretty directly at the thing I'm actually worried about, which might be the Ana, the Sigma, the Roadhog. You see what I'm saying here?
Yeah.
Okay.
Unacceptable. Don't worry, my friend. That's a shield.
I'm under attack.
Getting stuck.
Nim. I'm under attack.
And you just go straight forward, right?
I'm
Forward?
just getting
Forward? You're a little
stuck.
confused.
Focus, my.
You're a little confused. But mostly forward. Okay. Why?
I'm just getting stuck.
I should just swung that by
Yes! Absolutely. Like, your bubble's almost over. You should absolutely be swinging.
Come and face me.
Okay.
Bring it on.
Sure.
I live for this.
And again, this is the sort of thing where you go like this.
This is not the end.
A good Sigma is potentially pivoting this, so you're probably shielding for an instant here, because your next swing isn't going to eliminate anything, and you see the rocks formed, and he's about to throw it. So you're trying to flicker on that shield real quick, but okay.
I'm not the greatest at blocking the Sigma rock.
Okay. Why are you backing off? Okay, you're discorded. I see that. Does Cassidy have flash?
I don't think so.
So do you really need to back off right now? Like, don't get me wrong. I don't want you to swing with the Discord on you, but I kind of do want you to be this threat in their face that they're afraid of and they feel they have to deal with, right? Like, I want to spend your shield and your health as threat to the other team right now while your team does work, yeah?
Fair enough. So I think I should just held shield and stayed there.
I wouldn't back. I would stabilize in their face, yeah. Let
Yeah,
your
I
team
think-
heal you up, let them figure out how they're going to move it, and then swing, or, back off as Cassidy's flash comes back a good 2-3 seconds from now.
I'm not sure if I noticed there or not. It might have, but I also don't really like being in front of the Sigma shield.
Oh, okay. Yeah, it's not that big a deal. It's not. I get it, but like Sigma Shield, it's annoying. It messes with your Ana a little bit. Don't get me wrong, but it doesn't have that much health. It's not that big. She can get around it. And you had your shield that you were putting up. You weren't putting yourself in a situation where you're like right here, where you're surrounded by enemies. You were putting yourself in a situation where you're more like right here, right? Where it's like, okay, what are you gonna do, type thing. You're putting pressure on them by existing, and you're ready to swing, and you're constantly ready to swing, and they know it. Cool. Great. Okay. Interesting. Interesting.
Get in there.
Sure. Okay. So you're setting up for your next team fight win. You're going to figure out how to use your shatter to do it.
Your support has arrived.
Yep. That was the play.
I'll feel sad in the morning.
Why is he not eliminated yet? I would be very concerned by the fact that I haven't, not concerned, but that he's not down in your kill feed at this point is enough that I'm willing to check what's going on, because I'm uncertain why he's not eliminated yet, why he hasn't shown up in your feed. You'd have marked him off as eliminated in your brain, and you'd have looked for the confirmation there. Okay. Sure. So you can do this. You can do this. But we just drove back this tracer, right?
Yeah.
Okay. And I am going to want to get myself a Shatter. And I know that their Reinhardt isn't here, but they still have that Sigma. And I don't know, I'm kind of looking at this and going, yeah, maybe Tracer will warn them about you, but probably not because it's ladder. Do I want to look back here for my Shatter? Or do I want to walk through here to go get my Shatter? Because I do want to get my Shatter, and I probably don't. Like, leaping from a tall building and shattering them, it'll work right now because, you know, Sigma's using this, though you'll probably get flashed. But, like, any shatter from high ground where they see me coming, Sigma's probably going to block, right?
Yeah.
So I probably need to either drop from behind them or, like, sneak through here or something. And I do want to use my shatter. So...
Hammer down!
Dude, you're fired. Get off my team, Cassidy. Okay, sorry. I'm, he's not on my team, but, like, this is... Obviously, there was the threat of you getting, what do you call it there, but, like, he didn't even try. I get it. You're sorry it does give you a bubble, though he doesn't even try. And oh no, your bubble isn't until super late. So, yeah, he absolutely... Okay, we'll take it. So... This worked, and I'm glad that it worked, but you see my concern. So I'm sure you dropped in part because you saw the Sigma was using hands, so couldn't put the shield up. But you were...
Yeah, he also, I think he had put his shield up at that point. I was able to drop behind it.
Okay. But
yeah.
You were pathing up there. You were pathing up there with the hope to get a shatter. I know that. And it just kind of worked out that the Sigma wasn't able to block. And Cassidy is his whole own problem. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Okay. Like, you would have wanted to be thinking a little more ahead and go, well, how am I going to get this shatter off? And I expect too many problems down the front there. But, okay.
See there, like, I thought I had killed Zenyatta with that last swing, and I did not.
Unfortunate. Oh, yeah. I think the Zenyatta will still go down, though. Oh, my goodness! No! He's in swing range. He's in swing range.
I wasn't sure if he was or not. I think maybe I underestimated my range a little bit. Like,
you do. Okay. Okay. Is there a pin here? No. Swing. Totally fine. Don't you dare. Good. Okay. So, it's a little hard for Cassidy to beat you here. Do you know Cassidy's flashbang status? I don't think you do. So you go for this fire strike, and if he fans you during this fire strike, and then flash fans you again, he can maybe actually eliminate you with these mercy pockets that you both have. Right. So, like, I'm not that interested in this fire strike. I can fight this Cassidy. I can fight this Cassidy with swings. I really can't afford the fire strike because I can't shield a fan, right? If I'm fire striking?
Yeah.
Okay. And this is a fight that my team is clearly going to win, so I'm just taking sort of a needless chance here. But okay. Needless risk. Good.
My ultimate is almost ready.
You don't have time. You're going to do it anyway. Works out. Sure.
Get here.
Sure. So, here you are. You dropped and took that. You get flash, but you have fine health. Too much in terms of your swing here. Definitely not the fire strike we want. Okay. So here's what I'm looking at. This is okay. Totally fine. You've still got some health. You were willing to swing into this. I'm probably done swinging now, though. Like, is one more swing going to get me an elimination? Am I spending my health for something interesting right now? Am I risking my own elimination to get an elimination on the monkey, the Cassidy, the Zen, anything like that?
I suppose not. No,
So,
I didn't. Yeah, fair enough.
So I don't really want to keep swinging right now. I'd rather actually spend some shield and let myself get healed back up, even if Winston is zapping me or whatever, because Winston's having to stay in bad places to zap me where he'll be losing health faster. So, like, I'm done. Okay, whatever. I still am probably pretty done here where I'm probably going to take more than I'm going to do here. Like, I'm not about to finish off this monkey, right? Okay. And now I'm swinging in a monkey barrier, and I don't like swinging in a monkey bubble. Like, you should feel a little uncomfortable when you're inside a monkey bubble. And you step out of the monkey bubble, but you step out of the monkey bubble to fire strike. I'm good without doing this. Okay. Now you're fine. Now you're less fine. I mean, okay, but who's going to follow up on this?
Yeah, this wasn't a good shatter. I tried to kill the Zen after, and I in fact get myself killed.
Yeah, exactly.
This was definitely fumble on my part. Fire strike in there. I didn't.
All good.
This will help.
Pass into the
Dein
iris.
Schutzengel ist da.
Fire at will. Lock it off.
Sure.
No one can
Okay.
hide.
You just decided that you were going to go out swinging here. So here you are. Is this a you've decided this team fight is over situation?
I can't remember offhand. It might have been.
Okay. Because I'm looking at this, and after you get flashed, generally after you've been stunned, it's a good idea to hold right click.
Yeah.
Because you're
I
just
think
like,
after I
can
killed the
hide
Winston, it
from
might have been
my
winnable.
sight.
I'm not convinced. Yeah, it might have been. Yeah, it was. But you just go hard on all swing here. You just decide that no, I'm resetting.
Yeah. And then
Nothing to be had. Yeah.
nothing to be had. And then our Anna, for whatever reason, decides she doesn't want us to hold up here. I don't necessarily mind this angle when they have to push the card under. There's a nice choke there.
Yeah, you can live with this.
Yeah, but she didn't. That was the
She
call
should
was
go
not
take
for
high
her.
ground, but you can live with where you are.
Dein Schutzengel ist da. Get in there, Bob.
Yeah, you can't still be out. Too many interesting things are happening right now. Like, you look at this when you first come in, and you see, well, we can even go further back. So you're here. I don't really care what Triana said. I see my Ashe has one angle, my Widow has another. I don't really want to be this far behind my Ashe. My Zarya's up there. I'm definitely not needing to be this far back, so I'm figuring out something to do. Maybe that's working my way up here. Maybe that's working my way up the angle to play some Skybox Reinhardt, but I'm not chilling back here anymore, because my Zarya's not going to get out, right?
Yeah.
So I got to get in.
Yeah.
I
I think
got
it would have been better to stay where we were, but
Yep, that would have been fine.
Just
But
the
even,
way
like,
it's
if you rotate to adjust your Anna, you've now got to see, that was nice what you wanted, Anna, but, like, I see my good angled DPS, I see my Zarya up there, I'm going in.
Get in there, Bob.
Okay. Sure. And this is a little bit better in that you take down the target, and after you take down the target, I like to see you shield for a moment to sort of assess the situation, even if it's just for an instant, if you don't immediately have another target to get on. And now you can decide, okay, what am I going to do?
yeah. I get what you're saying. Shielding is a little.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So where should you go? What should you do?
In this instance, I decided to push out the soldier and the Zen.
Okay. It's going to be a little bit of a problem with the Sigma there, but it's potentially doable. Okay. you're either shattering or you're shielding and leaving. Those are your two options right now.
I am on fire!
Oh, gold. Oh, gold. Okay.
Yeah, the soldier likes to run away and instead of going down shooting, I guess.
It's okay. He went down running away on third, which was, you know, like, heck, why not?
Don't worry, my friend. I am your shield.
You're gonna walk on them. He has no tools to stop you from shattering. You're not gonna take advantage of that.
So you think I should have pushed the Sigma and then slammed the two people on the right, you think?
Or just the Sigma. So, like,
The
here's the
Sigma.
thing. You do this. Okay.
He rocks, and then, yeah,
I could just shatter him right here. And it's like, he's not gonna, like, okay, if I shatter him here, is my team gonna be able to follow up on that? Yeah. Yeah, there's a Sigma shield in the way, but it's not bothering your Widow. It's not going to bother you as you go up to swing on him, as you hit a pin into here. If you get shot, you should get supported reasonably well, and you'll quickly be able to black out of the sight line to here. Like, and I'm good with this stagger. Like, if we look at what this might seem like a, oh, but we're already winning the fight, but look at the feed. Are either of the two people that you're up in the feed right now?
No.
Which means they got eliminated a fair while ago. So if you shatter after this rock, that's a pretty big stagger, right? Because, you know, it's like, okay, this soldier is almost back. These two are gone. Like, it's okay to spend ults to keep your stagger chain going. You wouldn't want to spend an ult if you got an elimination just a second ago, but it's been a good probably 5, 6, 7, 8 seconds since your last elimination, right?
Yeah. I only really like to solo shatter DPS and supports. Yeah, I don't know.
Why? I mean, Sigma's squishy. You can take him down.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I could have. He would be free if I shattered him. He would definitely die there.
Okay.
I think maybe I just folded too long. Maybe.
Okay.
Is that all?
And now their soldier's back, which is annoying. And now they're gonna flux. Huh. Huh.
It's giving out.
I wonder if they win this fight without their Sigma on the board.
Yeah, I
Okay.
should have
Yeah,
killed him.
you see it. You see it. Okay. Okay, you trade out the Mercy, you stop the cart. We'll take it, it's fine. But you see where it's like, and if you look at that, you probably got 30% of your shatter back right there. 30, 35, maybe 40%. Like, it's a cheap ult. Yeah.
And then Mercy decides she wants to revive me for whatever reason. I'm not sure.
Yeah, she's got to pad some stats, man.
No one can hide from my sight.
Okay, you can just shield.
Oh wow!
There's a Transcendence going on. What are you doing?
Yeah, I could have stalled the car for longer.
Right.
If I- there, yeah.
No reason not to shield there.
Up here.
30 seconds remaining.
Their sights hide.
You can make it. Maybe not.
Yeah. So this Ash was saying, I got Bob. You win. I got Bob.
Ooh,
She did not actually have Bob.
ooh, unfortunate.
Yeah, and then of course, my support flames me for this play too, even though it wasn't even my call. Right? So I trade for Mercy because, like, I don't know. I guess Mercy likes dying.
Yep, seems that way.
I should have brought this.
I don't think you can back away. Yeah.
Get behind.
Okay. Oh, I'm so walking on this. Okay. What's the status of your team? How they doing?
That looks pretty good.
Team seems
got
like
two
they're probably
teams.
here, right?
Yep.
Winston just wasted his bubble, yeah?
Yep.
Tired
I'm
enemy
looking-
team is stacked, yep.
Yeah, I'm looking for the shatter.
Good. So we're backing up for some reason.
My ultimate is ready.
Oh, it's a gift! It is the freest shatter! The freest of frees!
Pretty free.
Free! Free! Yes!
You're powered up.
Why? Why would you fire strike there? Okay. So here you are, and if you take one more step, literally one more step, your swing will hit 2 people. If you take this, you've missed a swing and a half of opportunity cost here in terms of that fire strike.
I think I definitely underestimate the hammer range. I've been trying to work on that a little bit in the practice range with the corner swing.
Got it. Got it.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, we need to upgrade your range there because you didn't need like another half step, but you were going to get that very quickly.
I think also I usually fire strike off reflex on the shatter.
We
sometimes
need to fix that. we would actually rather like to get our fire strike like while targets are getting up or something, like while they're getting up type thing.
Double 60 seconds remaining.
Here it comes.
Okay.
Barrier activated.
Get them off me.
And this is like another, I think maybe a mistake they made here too. Is like the swirly durly is like the best spot on this map, right? For this point.
I mean, it's
Like, I
it's
mean,
the
it's
high
pretty good,
ground.
right?
Yeah, it's
It's the high
good.
ground.
Like I don't
So
mind
when-
if you're playing here instead of here, but yeah.
But when the engagement happens, I decide to drop to swing on their Sigma and their soldier runs under attack.
Well, let's see it. I mean, if you're ahead enough, dropping on them is fine. Nope, that is not really what we want. So like, yeah, you're correct. We look at this, and I'm not ready. I'm not convinced that we're winning this fight. I'm not convinced that if you drop, we win right now. So I would not have wanted to go quite yet. You are correct. Okay. You gotta anticipate that he's going. Rock is like his only solution when you're in his face. Like he has to rock or he loses very quickly. So you have to sort of watch for it because you don't want to just constantly be shielding. But he has a pretty meaningful wind up to that. So you do want to be primed for it. Be prepared to shield. Be watching him, expecting him to rock while you're swinging at him. But that's okay.
Heroes never die.
Okay.
Fire at will.
Shoot. Step left. Unfortunate. Okay. So that was an old bonanza.
Yeah,
And you-
I should have. Like, I really regret not sticking up there.
Yeah.
Because I knew he was going to do that because Soldier had shown he wants to play there before.
Right, that's the
I
thing.
think
You
I
were
did.
denying that space by being there. You were delaying when they could get into the fight with a proper setup, but yeah.
I
Okay.
was really wish somebody else would have stood up there and took that. So I didn't have to, but
Me yet.
no one else is going to, I guess.
No, it's been very clear that you're... Well, I mean, your Widow was a little interested earlier in angles, but, you know, you're driving your supports nuts by playing Angle Reinhardt, which is fine with me. What's that?
And then I was saying here, I'm just trying to like try and get a regroup. But I see Rosaria's decided she wanted to feed there, and I have
Not
to touch
much.
card here. I think maybe
Yep.
I touched the media a little bit early, but
No.
I think there's not
Okay.
too much I can do. They got the
That's-
soldier on the high ground again.
Destination.
Yeah, that's fine. You're going to shield here. Shield. What are you doing? They have Transcendence going. Okay. Basically, what you're looking to do right now is you're looking to shield to slow this down, and you're looking to break shield once for a juicy multi-person swing so you can get shatter. Like, that's sort of how you're looking at this, and it'll probably be swing into immediate shatter. Because if you look at this situation, like, this is Transcendence. We don't want to swing into this. But if we could walk our way up to maybe, like, here and swing through both tanks and then shatter once the bubble's over, and I wouldn't swing through right now. I'd continue to slow this fight down with shield. But I'm looking for something where, hey, can I do this? No. And that's not the swing I want. Okay. Junkertown, the land of 6 rounds.
Yeah, Junkertown. That's a pretty fun Reinhardt map, though.
Ready for battle. Ready for battle. Ready for battle.
Okay. So this time, are we going to start up here?
4, 3, 2, 1. Attackers incoming. Stop the payload.
Try to keep yourselves in one piece. I don't mind an easy
Sure.
Come out and face me.
Okay. So we didn't quite do what we talked about before, and obviously, you know, this is a time capsule, so you haven't talked about it before. This time you stayed back up here, and I can live with that, but you decided you didn't want to go up here. Is that because you think you have enough time that you only want your one team fight to be back here, and you're convinced you'll break this spot with your 2-minute time bank?
Yeah, I can't remember exactly what I was thinking at the time, but I think I was thinking I didn't want to. Generally, if it went into time bank, I don't want to take like a risky fight. But like especially if we go in there and we get wiped and then we don't get another decent fight. But
Okay. Okay. I mean, you will get a second fight if you take a fight up here where we're talking about. If you take the fight here, you might not get a second fight, but if you take it here, you will get a second fight. But that's okay. No problem.
Get in there.
Okay. So this is sort of the worst of both worlds, though. Like,
Get in there.
you now decide you have a big enough lead to push on these guys, and maybe that's true. You've softened up their Winston. But not really, so now you're going to drop, go forward, but then come back. Oh no, I want a fire strike, and now I want to walk forward into this.
30 seconds.
This just seems like a really weird place to take the fight. You see what I'm saying?
yeah, that wasn't a great engagement.
Okay.
Double kill.
Helden sterben
My
nicht.
retired
10
is all
seconds
about the
remaining.
victory. Ladies and gentlemen, start your engines.
Okay. Here you are. You do that. I don't know why you jumped rather than just falling. You do that. You're going to swing with your bubble. There's nothing to be had. That fire strike is just no. You're done. Shield, shield and back, shield and back, shield and back. You greeted your health a little too hard there. Okay, now you have the Transcendence. You're going to play like wild. You're going to push them out of this bubble. You're literally going to W into them to push them out of this bubble. And then you're going to shatter. And this is the game. No, no, no! The fire strike! You've got it! Oh my goodness. Okay. So,
Yeah, if I did a spin with the hammer there, I probably could have hit multiple people there.
a swing through both of the tanks, one of which is discorded. That's like all we need right here. That's all we need. Yes, I know there's an annoying soldier up there, but like that is what we desperately want right now. But that's okay. That's not a finish. Okay. Okay.
I am on fire.
Sure.
Like a new man.
I'm annoyed on your behalf. Nope.
Glorious.
You think a Reaper can kill a soldier at close range, Temporal? Think he's gonna do it?
Oh boy.
No. No.
Got you in
Well, I guess we can't complain because they had that Cassidy, right?
resist.
Yeah, they did have that, Cassidy. I'm annoyed on your behalf that this round is not over.
Their
Okay.
soldiers seem pretty lit, though. Like, I was impressed by their soldiers.
Yeah, no, he's had some moves.
Game.
Don't worry, my friends. I am your shield.
Kind of wasting resource right here.
Behind you.
Yeah. So, this is unfortunate, and eventually you realize your mistake if there just wasn't a good reason to push out here of, hey, you can go out here and scoop up your Zen, no problem.
My friend.
But all that was ahead of you was your Zen and your Widow. Your team clearly isn't back yet, right? And you've you're only getting one more fight on second, and it's not going to be here. Like, you see where the card is, there's no way you're fighting here. So we scoop up our Zen, and we leave. We don't go take Outhouse. We can't hold Outhouse. We don't have a team. And unfortunately, even if you now get out, you're going to be getting out low on resources. So when your team is ready to push back in, like your ball, for example, you are needing to wait for yourself to get healed, this sort of thing. You'd really like to be able to go in 1 second with good resources. And you are going to go in because this is the right timing, but you see you've got less than half shield and are missing health, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Your attention.
Okay.
Winston decides he wants to see nine, so that's nice for us.
We'll take it. We'll take it. Winnable.
Ready for battle. Ready. Ready.
Okay.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Attackers incoming. Escort the payload.
So ready to go for this again. I look right there and like, there's no way I'm getting any value by trying to go up there. I think that was my call, anyways.
There's no value that you're getting by trying to go up here. Talk to me.
Like, so if I I was looking at that and like, do I want to walk forward over here and try and jump on the high ground? And I thought, I'm just gonna get melted if I try that. It's not gonna work.
Oh, up here if you do this high ground play, you're saying?
Yeah.
I mean, you're not going to be able to walk on them. They're going to pay too much attention to them. On the other hand, if you just exist over here, that's kind of annoying to them. It's kind of threatening to them.
That's fair enough. So maybe that would have been a better thing. But I was looking at that and it's like, I'm not gonna be able to do anything, so instead of trying to back out like a gank.
Yeah. Okay.
Enemy turret ahead. Damn.
Okay.
Is that all?
That was a hopeful fire strike. Don't drop in front of the bridge. Don't drop in front of the bridge. You're just kind of wasting time right now. Okay, so here you are. I'm good. I'm good. And now I'm going to look at this and I'm either going around and clearing angles or I'm playing objective, right? I'm putting objective pressure on them. You're kind of not doing much. Like, is this a spot? No one's going to take this spot from you, right? And start shooting down at your team. So you're not getting much by being up here, yeah?
Yeah.
So you either need to find a way to path to them, maybe that's through here and then off on some adventure over here, or you need to go, okay, let me go do some objective pressure and help clear Monkey. And we'd clear Monkey right now. We'd clear Monkey by dropping behind bridge, not in front of it. I don't know what you're doing. Okay.
Sure, I was doing later.
Yeah.
This happens. I think at this point I decided that I'm not gonna be able to do much on against this.
So now you're going to come out on what? Ball?
I don't play ball.
Oh, Orisa. No problem.
Primary consent.
Orisa's fine.
My wrist is not. I haven't played Orisa in a very long time. My wrist is not that great, but I thought maybe having a gun would be good in this situation.
Okay. I mean, the truth is, this Monkey was not some ferocious, undeal-withable force. You walk up with your shield, you swing into it a little bit, and you mix in shield, right? Like, you can trade health with Monkey. You do more damage to him than vice versa. If you're getting shot, you stop after a couple swings and let yourself get healed back up.
Yeah,
yes, even while he's zapping you. And he's not going to get healed up as fast because, like, look at what he has. That's not how it's going to work.
Of Monkey, I was afraid that like they have Sigma, Soldier, Torb, and the Zen all on the high ground where I can't really get to them for the most part.
Okay.
But I'm thinking I wasn't gonna be able to really do all that much with Ryan.
Okay.
I guess my co-tank here decides Reinhardt's pick. So that's,
yeah, he does. He does.
Maybe I was that game. I don't know.
Tell me about this shield. How do you feel about it?
That shield was not great.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, I know it wasn't great.
Okay. Sure. No halt? Excuse me? Did that Torb really just get away? So, you would predict that he was trying to run across from left to right, and you'd have halted at literally any point to stop that from working. But okay.
Enemy turret neutralized.
No one can hide from my
Again,
sight.
these shields. That is such a passive shield.
Should maybe throw them more towards the outhouse.
Throwing that what?
More towards the outhouse.
Yes. Okay, we do not fortify that. It's a monkey. He can't hurt us.
The payload is approaching its destination.
Okay. So, don't necessarily care about what we saw with the Orisa here. So, that's fine. So, we've got a fair amount of Reinhardt to talk about here, and I can go into the most important things for your Reinhardt. I'm certainly prepared to do so. We can do that as per normal, but it's actually more helpful if you can, after having reviewed this, you've rewatched it yourself, you've now rewatched it again with me, if you can sort of formulate yourself what you think, one or two really important things that we saw here. Maybe you felt they were important because you saw it a lot and it stood out. Maybe you felt it was important because it seemed like it was really important. Maybe it was something you saw a lot. But if you can formulate it in your own words, it's going to stick better and it's going to be easier for you to work on. Now, if you don't feel prepared to do that, that's perfectly fine. I can do it for you as I've, done in other sessions, and I'm perfectly happy to do that. But also know that if you are willing to do that, I won't let you steer wrong. If you go into something that's really not very important, I'm going to bring you back to something important. But does that feel like something you can do?
Sure.
Sure.
So I think one of the ones that came up a lot was that I'm too greedy with my health resources.
Too greedy with your health resources. So what does that mean?
It's like I'm not shielding in time, or I'm taking extra swings, or going for things that I don't really need to.
Right, and it's the sort of thing where greed can be good, but I want that greed to actually be worth something. Like, I'm willing to greed an extra swing when I don't have any armor if that last swing is going to take down the Winston, it's going to take down the Reinhardt. I'm not really willing to do it just to take the Winston from half to 2/3 health, though, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so I do want more health awareness, and I want that health awareness to inform your shield versus swing usage. Okay, so that's fair. That's something that I would consider important. Okay, anything else?
I had a couple there. I just kind of lost my train of thought. So
Sure.
I think another thing is like maybe awareness of where the team is, and I think, like you said, I took some questionable initiations
Okay.
on the second round defense there when I pushed past the corner I didn't need to. It was with the Zenyatta, it wasn't quite decisive enough.
Yep. Always important to know where your team is, especially as a main tank player. Always important. It's a skill you'll be working on forever. It's probably not something that would crack my top 2 to 3 for you specifically based on this match, but this is, a match I saw. I haven't seen every single match that you've been playing recently, but I agree. Always important. Talk to me a little bit. What was that about the Zenyatta?
I walked him like I was walking on him, right, and then
Yeah.
then kind of flip flopped.
Oh yeah, you changed your mind. Decisiveness definitely matters on Reinhardt, but that's mostly a one-off. I'm not going to worry too much about that. Anything else?
And I know I'm also aware, but not really sure. Like my reaction time to blocking some of these things, or the awareness of stuff on the peripherals, like you said, and that's something that comes up in a lot of my games. Which
Yeah. So that would crack my list. So what do we do about that? How can we work on that? And I'm going to answer that one. I know I just asked that as a question, but what that means is you have to think about the heroes when you load up into a lobby or when you see the opposing team that have those sort of things that you have to watch for even while you're fighting other people. And the most obvious example is probably Ana followed by Sigma. So let's just take those two for now. And when you load up into lobbies, I specifically want you to recognize when they're on the other team and sort of make a mental note of, okay, I have to keep an eye on that person. Like, I actually have to watch them even while fighting the Reinhardt. And even if that makes me worse at fighting the Reinhardt, worse at fighting the Winston, worse at fighting the Orisa, I want to actually watch that Ana with my eyes. I don't care if I watch it with my peripheral or if I focus on it and watch the tank that I'm fighting with my peripheral. Like, I don't care if it makes you a little worse at blocking shatters or a little slower to switch from swing to shield against a fortified Orisa or something like that. But I want you to do that at least until you've seen the cooldown come out, just as a way to get practice, because you do need to start seeing some success. Just like a diva needs to sort of start seeing some success intentionally eating things before eating gets a lot easier, you're going to need to see some success intentionally blocking a sleep that came from an Anna who was sleeping through her own Reinhardt to get you. And once you start getting it a couple times intentionally, it kind of gets easier. So that is something that I would want you to work on. It obviously requires specific opponents, but limit yourself to those two for now, and do this in a way where it's perfectly fine to focus on them rather than who you're swinging at, but you do still have to look like you're playing with who you're swinging at. You follow?
Yeah,
And
I,
I know
I
it's
just have a hard time with that. It's tough for me to do that, but yeah, I know it's something that's kind of pretty important on Reinhardt.
it's unfortunately pretty important, and it gets easier if you prime yourself for it. If you're like, this is what I'm trying to do. Like, I am actually trying to block this Sigma. I am actually trying to block this Anna. I know it looks like I'm playing with this Reinhardt right now, but I'm sort of using less than half my brain to play with this Reinhardt, if that's what it takes. I'm actually watching the Anna type thing. Like, I'm actually trying to make it look juicy even, so that the Anna will try to sleep me, nade me, whatever the case may be here. Like, it's okay if the Reinhardt puts you on your butt a couple times, or the Orisa, lines up way too many headshots because your movement isn't evasive. It's okay if you lose the frontline battle a little bit while you're trying to get this down. But you want to specifically be going, I'm loaded into the match. I see that there's an Anna on the other team. When I'm having frontline dances, I am going to specifically look for and pay attention to the Anna or to the Sigma. Does that do you feel like you've tried that before and it hasn't worked, or talk to me here?
Not really.
Okay.
I've gotten better at trying to block the abilities in like the kind of like the one-off situation where you're running down Anna and you have to block your sleep.
Right.
You have to, and you gotta watch for the animation on that one. I think you
Yep.
try and bait with the cancel, swing cancel sometimes. But,
Yep.
It's still tough even in the 1v1.
Oh, yeah, and I'm actually not even interested in the 1v1 here. I totally get the 1v1. The 1v1 can be tough. You're at close range. But I'm actually looking at these ones where they're a bit further away, and you're sort of going to get a bigger tell because of that. They're going to be harder to see, but you're actually paying quite a bit of attention to them. Yeah, that's actually what I want you working on right now. Does that make sense?
Yeah, blocking the Anna cooldowns I think would help my game a lot.
It does. Reinhardts get a lot better when Annas stop picking on them. Now, there was a time when you could just count on your divas to eat the abilities for you, but sadly, the days of
that time has never been here. So.
Okay. So I want you working on paying attention to the other things, even if it means you're paying less attention to the front line for those Anna and Sigma cooldowns. I do want you doing that. I'm also going to want you to go ahead and... What was I trying to say here? It's less about your engagement timings.
Is the health management?
It was your health management. I'm going to want you to pay a bit more attention to your health management in general, in terms of I want you to be aware of the health that you're at. Again, your general rule of thumb is I'm probably not swinging when I don't have armor. I'm probably not swinging when I'm discorded. I really just want you watching your health, and you should get into a habit where you're sort of checking your health after every second swing. You're checking your health after, every time you don't have a target to swing at for a moment. Or you're checking your health every time you get an elimination. Build something in, and you really want to get into a habit of just kind of constantly being aware of your health. It really does add up, and you need that habit on Reinhardt. But that's okay. You've got that. And then you still do need to clean up your fire strikes, and that is important enough. You're a little too willing to go for the fire strikes after the shatter, the fire strikes in the open, the fire strikes while you're discorded. I would clean those up. It's tough for me to pick that over your shatters, because I would like you to work on your shatter game, but I'm not going to put that there. I am still going to tie the fire strikes back to your health and make that your third point, and put this really in the territory of I really want these fire strikes to be you're doing these from cover, you're doing these against people who are retreating. you're not doing these when a swing would work in its place. And in a lot of these situations, a swing would work in its place, and you're sort of underestimating your swing. So really, I'd like you to go more for the swings here. Does that make more sense? Does that make sense?
Yeah,
Okay. Then we've got 3 things here for you. I don't really want to give you more than that, but do these make sense to you? Do you feel like you can work through these one at a time and that they're broken down for you in a way that they can stick in your brain and there's something that you can quickly articulate as you're going into a match and be able to think about and sort of keep a focus on?
yeah, that makes sense.
Okay. Okay. Then I think we're good. Do you have any questions, comments, concerns, final things you want to get into here?
No, thanks for the review.
Of course, of course. Then we are all